Patients at the Philippine General Hospital were evacuated following the fire that broke out yesterday. The hospital is now appealing for donations. Mayors and governors are now part of the government's A1 priority list for COVID-19 vaccinations. Contact tracing efforts continue for the close contacts of the OFWs who tested positive for the Indian B1617 variant. Vice President Leni Robredo says she's open to running for any position in 2022, but she refutes rumors that she's now eyeing the gubernatorial seat in Camarines Sur. And today is the most beautiful day in the universe. Miss Philippines Rabia Mateo eyes to win the country's 5th crown in the 69th Miss Universe competition. Focused and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Charles Lejano. The Philippine General Hospital is now asking for donations following the fire that reached the hospital over the weekend. Camille Samonte with the details.
A number of COVID and non-COVID patients in Philippine General Hospital were evacuated after a fire broke out in its central block. Some newborn babies and pediatric patients were temporarily transferred to the hospital chapel.
More or less na puno-puno ang chapel, but we managed to still keep the distance dahil nga sa di namin alam kung mayroon bang COVID o non-COVID kasi noong bumaba sila from 6th, 7th floor, almost nagkasabay.
But because of the hospital limited space, 12 babies were transferred to Santa Ana Hospital, while 4 were transferred to Gat Andres Bonifacio Memorial Medical Center.
Yung ating mga babies, talagang isa sila sa mga naapektuhan dahil just above the operating room, yung 3rd floor, ay yung nursery. So, neonatal ICU, saka mga nursery. So, lahat yung mga babies na yon, we really have to secure them at dinala namin sa lugar na kahit papaano ay ma-maintain namin yung temperature control, ma-regulate sila.
Several pedia patients were also moved to private hospitals upon their requests. Hospital ng Maynila reported that 2 patients of PGH were transferred to their hospital for appendectomy. PGH spokesperson Jonas Del Rosario said the fire started at the operating room sterilization area. It is located on the 3rd floor of PGH Central Block building. This is where the state-run hospital admits paying patients. The cause of the fire has yet to be determined. There are no reported casualties or injuries so far. Del Rosario ensured that COVID and non-COVID patients were separated properly. And critical COVID patients were evacuated safely despite being on ventilators. Other affected patients were temporarily moved to the hospital's new emergency room. In the meantime, the PGH will not be able to accommodate new patients.
Yung ER kasi namin, ginawa mo ng evacuation area. In a way, may bago kami emergency room na binuksan para doon muna yung mga ibang mga pasyente namin. So sarado yung emergency room at tama ka na for now, hindi pa alam kung hanggang kailan. No? Hopefully not for a long time kasi alam mo naman very crucial ang emergency room ng PGH to the public.
PGH is the country's biggest COVID-19 referral hospital. The hospital has since released a call for donations, both in kind and cash. For News 5, Camille Samonte, we are One News.
Local chief executives such as mayors and governors are now part of the A1 vaccine priority list. Health Undersecretary Mirna Kabutahe says the local executives will be listed under Priority Group A1 following the advisory of the National COVID-19 Vaccine Operations Center. This comes after the League of Cities of the Philippines appealed to reclassify LCEs to be part of the top priority of the government's national vaccination program. With this, all 1,634 provincial governors and city and municipal mayors will be prioritized for inoculation. Authorities are not taking any chances as they continue the contact tracing process for the close contacts of the 2 OFWs who tested positive for the B1617 variant. At the same time, the Health Department assures the public that no COVID-19 vaccine in the country will go to waste. Faith Del Mundo tells us more.
The health department strengthens the contact tracing of the two individuals who had contacted COVID-19 with an Indian variant. Still, the agency is still searching for other close contacts of the passengers. With the airline's coordination, DOH has traced two individuals and found that according to the flight manifesto, there are 41 passengers who may be considered close contacts.
So nakita na ho namin yung manifesto nitong flight details nitong dalawang OFWs at katulad nga ho ng nai-report namin for the case 1 which who is the 37-year-old male from Oman, meron ho siyang 6 na close contacts doon po sa eroplano. 3 po sa kanila nakita na namin sa database ay PCR negative.
According to Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Berhere, authorities are still searching for the other 3 close contacts since the name on the manifest did not match.
As to the case number 2, which is the 58-year-old male from UAE, meron ho tayong verified na 32 close contacts doon po sa aeroplano. 3 po sa kanila ay positibo. Pinasubmit na ho natin sa whole genome sequencing yung isang sample at yung sa dalawa po ay hinahanap pa ho natin yung mga nilolocate po natin, yung mga specific individuals.
Berhere says the rest of case number 2 close contacts have tested negative. Meanwhile, Berhere maintains that the country's vaccine wastage remains under the acceptable 5% and urged LGUs to prepare generators in case of power interruptions to ensure the integrity of vaccines.
Doon pa rin tayo doon sa ating target for wastage, which is just less than 5% sa ngayon. Nakikita po natin na ang mga probable lang, katulad nung isang beses may nag-brown out po doon sa isang area natin at nasira po itong mga bakuna. Pangalawa po, yun pong mga kapag binuksan nakikita na may mga parang contaminants na yung bakuna, isa rin po yun sa nakikita natin. So para po maiwasan, we have already advised our local government units, ang implementing units natin, to make sure na meron po tayong standby na generators if ever, especially for those areas na madalas po na nagba-brown out para masiguro ho natin yung potency ng ating mga bakuna.
The health department is also now investigating an incident in Cotabato City where a freezer where vaccines are stored was reportedly not switched back on after a power outage. Berhere also reiterates that COVID vaccines should be stored separately from food, amid reports of LGUs contacting food chain suppliers to store the vaccine. Meanwhile, Berhere assures the public that all vaccines currently available in the country will be used well before their expiry dates, and that the country will not accept near expiry or busted vaccines.
So wala pong dapat ipangamba ang ating mga kababayan. Ang mga tinatanggap po nating bakuna ay ligtas at within the expiry date. So hindi po tayo tatanggap ng mga expired vaccines already at hindi rin po natin ipapagamit sa ating mga kababayan kung expired na ang bakuna.
For News 5, Faith Del Mundo, we are One News.
Vice President Leni Robredo says she's still open to running for any position in next year's polls, including the presidency. However, Robredo refutes claims that she's already gearing up for a gubernatorial position in Camarines Sur, as claimed by former Senator Antonio Trillanes. The country's number 2 says she has not yet decided what office to pursue in the 2022 elections. She says she's still weighing her options. In fact, Robredo says she's not even sure if she would run at all since her children want her out of politics. She said the final decision-making would have to come later as her focus is currently still on the coronavirus pandemic. Miss Universe 2020 Coronation Night will begin in just a few minutes. Set at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida, the culmination of this year's pageant will run from 8 p.m. to 11 a.m. in the U.S. That's 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. here in the Philippines. Miss Universe Philippines Rabia Mateo will try to take home the country's 5th Miss Universe crown, wearing the creations of Dubai-based Filipino designer Fern Wan of the Amato Fashion House. Miss Universe 2019 Zosie Tunzi of South Africa will be passing on the crown to her successor. It was earlier announced that American rapper Pitbull will be performing at the coronation night. But last week, the organizers announced that he will be replaced by Puerto Rican singer Luis Fonsi for the honor of serenading the queens as they strut their stuff at the Miss Universe stage. Fonsi is known for the international hit Despacito. As we await the list of the top 21 candidates who will join the semis, let's take a look back at how our candidate Rabia Mateo performed during Saturday's preliminaries. After a good showing during the national costume competition, Rabia continued to wow the crowd as she strutted down the runway while doing her signature halabira walk in a yellow Ella Saval swimwear. Then Rabia showed grace and confidence as she scorched the runway in the topaz-hued Fern 1 evening gown. According to the Dubai-based Filipino designer, they spent around 10,000 hours just to make 4 gowns that Rabia will use until the finals. But will Miss Universe Philippines 2020 Rabia Mateo get to wear all these gowns? We'll find out soon enough. But for now, let's once again take a peek at how Rabia Mateo slayed during the preliminaries.
Mabuhay, Philippines! Rabia is currently an ambassador for her country's Department of Education. This 24-year-old cum laude graduate and rap fan works as a teacher and enjoys writing stories and acting in her spare time. Philippines!
Say hello to Philippines! Rabia has a degree in physical therapy but plans to eventually go back to school and become a pediatrician. At the height of the pandemic, this 24-year-old volunteered to make PPE and cooked for frontline workers. Thank you, Philippines!
The Miss Universe 2020 pageant might be reverting to an old format where the candidates will only step up to speak once. Miss Universe Philippines National Director Shamsi Supsup revealed the format for this year's competition. The night will begin with the announcement of the top 21 candidates who aced the preliminaries. These candidates will try to clinch their spots in the top 10 via the swimsuit round. The last 10 queens will then dazzle in their evening gowns, after which only 5 will proceed to the question and answer portion. It remains unclear whether the top 3 contestants will get another chance to speak before the new queen is crowned. What we do know is that this year's competition will do away with the continental format, where 5 candidates will be chosen from each region, with another 5 comprising the wild card group. Last week, the Miss Universe organization revealed the all-female selection committee for the pageant, with former Miss Universe 1997 Brooke Lee and Miss Universe 2006 Zuleika Rivera among them. Along with 6 other accomplished women, they will select the winner of the 69th Miss Universe pageant. While hashtag Arriba Rabia trended over the weekend, another topic rose through the ranks in social media as the coronation night draws near. Just this morning, hashtag Philippines and Rabia ang huling bira both secured top 1 and 2 trending in the Philippines. Hashtag Rabia for the 5th crown also trended in 6th place, with Filipino pageant fans hoping that the Ilongga beauty emerges as Miss Universe 2020. And just one day before the final competition, Rabia expressed her thanks to pageant fans all over the world who continue to celebrate and empower all of the candidates. And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us later at 10 a.m. as we monitor the day's biggest stories from sunrise to sundown. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We're One News.